Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll whenever we need to. Folks, you have done it. I have done it. We have all done it. Are you asking, James, what is it that we have done? I'm going to tell you what we have done. And it's something that might be minuscule to some or massive to others. What we have done, you, I, collectively together, is that we have found the willpower to get out of bed during this global pandemic. And let's be clear, it's a scary thing. The idea of catching the old coronavirus is daunting. But we all know that the murkiness and the bleakness is this biodome of disappointment that surrounds us at all times. We understand that this filter that we are living life through is the true enemy, right? I feel like I sound like I'm starting something on InfoWars the way that I'm talking. I'm turning into Alex Jones. But what I'm talking about is the fact that we have managed to muster up the intestinal fortitude to break free of our apartments, go outside, enjoy time with friends and family, or maybe, just maybe, you're staying inside, but you're finding a way to get out of bed. Maybe you go to your kitchen, you make yourself a cup of coffee, and you find a way to be happy. That is exactly what we have accomplished. Earlier today, by the way, I am James, you are you, we are here for another edition of At Home with James. It is a Saturday surprise. Who knows what's going to happen? I do know everything. I have the format. Someone asked me earlier today, James, how are you? I've been seeing you on the show. I'm not too sure. And that said two things to me. One is that I am so transparent. You see that? Might as well have a heart right there. I would say on my happiness meter today, I'm a good 7 to 8 on 10. Huge increase from my usual 3 to 4. I generally peak at a goddamn 5. Today, I didn't need to curse. But I did. Maybe I'm fired up. I'm going to tell you why I'm fired up. I noticed something today in the morning as I was springing out of bed. I was brushing my teeth and I scratched my leg with my other foot, as we do. You have an itch, and I felt a slight pain on the back of my leg. Folks, I wish that I could tell you that I planned for this. I wish that I could tell you that I was happy about this. I wish that this wasn't even real. Folks, breaking news, I have ringworm again. It's true. Weeks ago, we had ringworm awareness night. I had a doctor here breaking down the do's and don'ts in which you can avoid getting ringworm. I shit you not. I was flabbergasted this morning to discover with a mouthful of toothpaste foam that I do, in fact, on my left leg, once again, have ringworm. You've been here when I said every fall I get ringworm. Here's the deal. I think I understand why I'm getting it. I haven't washed my pants in maybe a year. Now, you might be saying that's disgusting, and you might be true. In fact, you are true. I'm not going to fight that if you do think that's true. But hear me out. It's summertime, right? When's the last time? I don't know. Maybe a lot of guys out there, I think a lot of guys don't wash their pants. That's just me. Or maybe I don't wash pants. We stopped wearing pants months ago. We transitioned to the short. If you're one of these people like me who likes to wear shorts, I haven't washed my pants in a long time. And I tend to wear pants that veer on the more form-fitting side. And I think that's what happened. I think that I got ringworm from my pants. So that's where I'm at today. But Use me as a cautionary tale. Use me as someone that you can look up to. You can say, you know what? This filthy, unhygienic young man, he might have ringworm again, but he manages to be 7 to 8 on 10 in terms of happiness. That's not why I'm totally happy tonight. I'm very excited about tonight's show. Much later on in our final segment, we're bringing back James Sells Out. Tonight, Jason Grimmer of Variations Mile End, a school for dance and performance, will be here to talk about his new improv and acting classes much later on. I will once again sell out as I am on the hot pursuit to find a sponsor. In addition to this, the nicest person I know and the nicest person in At Home with James history, Monika Schneider, is going to be here. I don't know what she's doing. This is a surprise segment. I said, Monika, I need you. She said, James, I'm tipsy. I said, hey, that's cool. She said, what do I do? I said, surprise me. She said, you're on, bucko. She didn't say bucko. Monika Schneider will be here to not only provide niceness, potential tipsiness, but also a surprise segment. Coming in just a matter of moments, Thomas Barnwell, a man that I have said this to in person that I feel some semblance of a simpatico with. I have a suspicion that we have a lot of similarities. And I said to him, Thomas, I think that I can correctly predict things that you don't like or even hate. And I challenge you to do the same for me. So that's what we're going to be doing. A brand new game show, so to speak. I don't know what the scoring scheme looks like. I don't care about points, but we're going to be awarding points in a brand new segment that may never happen again, but it's a Saturday surprise. Surprise if it's good, we do it again. Surprise if it's bad, we forget that it ever happened. What do you hate? Before we do that, Smooth Carla is in the booth tonight. Smooth Carla, how's your Saturday going? Where are you at on your happiness meter?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that today, James. On a level of happiness, I think I'm bouncing off you. Maybe I'm getting closer to a 7. I'm around a 6.5 now.
Okay, a 6.5. That's pretty good, Smooth Carla. What do you have planned for the weekend?
I think I'm going to do a little casual streaming.
Oh, would you like to share where people can find Smooth Carla on Twitch?
Oh,
or is
sure.
Okay, so it's not incognito.
No.
Here we go. My first sellout of the night.
Yeah, my first stream today. I played Fall Guys. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Carmody, CARMAHDEE.
There we go. So if you're a fan of the video game world and the video game persuasion, you can see our very own Smooth Carla stream it up using Twitch the way that it was intended to be used. Not an angry-ish fellow talking about his skin fungus. I wish that I could show you my ringworm. This setup is not conducive to showing it. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We're going to maybe do a progress report. Smooth Carla, are you ready to start the show tonight? I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready to roll.
Well, let's bring our first guest in. This is a first ever segment, as previously mentioned. This is Do You Hate This? With the one, the only, the man who gave me a lift home only less than an hour ago, Thomas Barnwell. Thomas, buddy, you're live in living color. How are you?
Good, James. How are you?
You know what? I feel pretty excited. I feel a little feisty on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Is it too much?
No. You're doing fine.
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I think even ringworm can't bring me down right now.
I wish I could say the same.
Oh, okay. Well,
because if one of the things you were going to guess that I hate is people with contagious diseases getting into my car, that might be one of them. I'm teasing.
No, but you know what? I was going to say, don't worry. I'm shielding you with my pants, but the reality is I was wearing the pants that I think gave me a case of RW.
Okay, yeah.
So this is what I suggest. Maybe take some, like a Lysol wipe, just give a once over on where my leg may have grazed against in your car.
That's okay. I can tell you though that if you weren't wearing pants, I wouldn't have given you a ride home. So
yeah, and you know what? I think I'm conscious enough where I would have said, you know what, Thomas, because I want to be clear. Thomas offered a lift home. If I would have said, look, I have ringworm on my leg, just a heads up.
I would have run away screaming like a little girl. So,
and you know what? You would have been justified in because I may have to do another ringworm awareness night to let people know that it's time to end the stigma because I am ringworm strong. But that's well, you know, we've talked enough about my my series of bizarre ailments. Tonight's all about Do You Hate This? A new game show on At Home with James. We're going to take turns, Thomas, predicting things that you think that I hate and that I think that you hate. And if we are correct in these assumptions, we will be awarded a point. Now, in order to really clarify the rules, I want to go a little loose with this. It doesn't even need to be hate. Okay. Hate is strong. Maybe it's like, yeah, I'm not interested in this. I don't like this. I would say as long as there's a negative feeling towards these predictions, I think we're in the clear. Or is that agreeable?
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Since you were the guest, Thomas, I'm going to let you decide. Would you like to be the recipient of the first prediction, or would you like to make the first prediction?
I'll go first.
Great. Okay. So you would like to provide the prediction as well.
I would provide the prediction.
Okay. Here we go. Does James hate this? Let's begin.
Does James hate fish?
You know what? You are now being awarded 1 point. I do not eat fish. I'm not interested in eating it. There's a block. You are correct.
All right. Is somebody keeping score?
I'll keep score.
We'll keep
yeah,
score.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep score. We can do that unless one of us proves to be a cheater. I would say when it comes to fish, I used to eat tuna, which is weird because people have often told me that's one of the fishiest fishes.
Yeah, it is.
It's been so long that the idea is a little off-putting now. I'm not totally ruling out the fact that I might get into it at some point, but right now, I stay away from it. I don't eat fish. I don't eat seafood. You are correct in your assumption. Can I ask what led you to that? What made you think this is not a fish guy?
Good question. Well, you know, I know that you enjoy food. You're sort of a foodie. We've discussed food a little bit, and fish has never come up in the conversation.
Now, this is what it means to be a great friend. We hear each other because it's true. Anytime we talk about food, I'm either ranting and raving about pizza or hamburgers,
burgers,
or anything generally greasy. Okay. I'm going to try to catch up here with my first prediction, and hopefully it renders a point. This is very niche and specific. As a parent, I predict that you were never much into small talk with other parents at events that include parent-teacher meetings or birthday parties where other parents were around. Now, I think there's probably a couple parents you liked, but something about this makes me like you're not into the small talk with other parents. I'm worried though.
That's a tough call because a lot of the small talk on the school end of things was in French. So I just came across as an idiot in French. And so, but other events like, you know, getting up early and going to the park with the kids, I think the other parents kind of avoided me. So I'd have to say that's yes. That's a yes.
Oh, it's a yes by proxy of how they didn't want to talk to you. And you're like, well, I guess I'm scum.
Yeah. My daughters were very involved in Irish dancing, step dancing. And a few times, like, you know, they would do these road trips. So we get on a bus and go to Boston or something. And I always kind of drew the short straw at home. Like my wife wouldn't go. Yeah. So, and you're
surrounded in a bus of parents with people that don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it was mainly women. I think I was the only man on the bus, and so they weren't interested in talking to me. And like,
they're just like, I don't know about this guy.
No, exactly. Like a couple times, like I'd get off the bus, like they'd have a bathroom break or something, and I'd come back on, and then like one woman would say, "We moved your stuff to the back of the bus." So it's like
they evicted you from the communal bus area.
Nobody wanted to sit next to me. So
okay, so this
that's
is
a
good.
yes. That's a yes.
We're tied at 1 apiece here. We have both correctly predicted one thing that the other person hates. Thomas, the ball is now in your court.
Okay. I tried to actually break it down by category. So food was the first one. Recreational activity is my second one. Mm-hmm. And my guess is that you don't like square dancing.
Yeah, I think that's probably on point. Generally speaking, I don't care for dancing on any level. To the fact that I don't even enjoy watching other people dance. Now, some people...
interesting.
I want to give a shout out here to Mark Rowland, who is a fantastic dancer. His pelvic control is incredible. It's the least nerdy thing about him. I'll watch him dance, but you're correct. I don't want to watch dancing, and you know what? I'd maybe watch square dancing at like kind of a cabana souk, a sugar shack. To be part of it would be mortifying.
Yeah.
Another point to you, Thomas Barnwell. Are you a square dance guy?
Yeah. I went very niche. I was going to say dancing in general, but I thought, well, maybe. But I said this category of dancing, I'm certain that James doesn't like it.
Yeah, no, that's on point. And I'm going to say this. You could have picked a variety of dancing and you would have been just across the board correct. Okay, 2 points for Thomas, 1 point for James. Here we go. My next prediction of something that you hate: giving toasts or speeches.
Huh. You know, that's interesting. Nobody's ever asked me. So again, I think maybe by default you get a point there. So, but
okay.
I've always got one in my back pocket just in case.
So your reasoning for confirming my assumption is like, yeah, no one's asked me to do it.
Right.
So both of your answers are that like people are like avoiding either talking to you or avoiding putting the responsibility on you to do the thing.
It just shows you what a bleak wasteland my life is.
Oh man, you know what? A bleak wasteland might be what I'm going to change the name of this show to.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that'll be the Sunday morning edition. We'll do like a morning edition, the bleak wasteland, and also you're hosting that show, Thomas.
Hey, there you go. You're starting a network, and then I'll get to make speeches. Okay.
Okay,
right.
Great. We're moving on to the third of 5 predictions.
This one also is very niche. I went with a specific, but I can broaden it a bit if you don't get what I'm talking about. Okay. One thing that I think you really hate are washroom attendants. So like you don't like to go into, say, like if you happen to be at a fancy occasion where I wouldn't have been asked to give a speech.
Yeah.
You go to the men's room and there's usually an older man there handing out towels or offering you aftershave or something.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to be a tricky one. I've never experienced a washroom attendant, so by default, I'm going to have to say I neither hate or love it.
Okay.
I don't know. I think for some reason in my brain, part of the visual of a bathroom attendant is friend of the show and regular contributor Joe Conto. In my brain, I'm walking in and Joe's like, hey, can I get you something? How about a mint? Or maybe, okay, you don't want a mint? That's fine. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say, I don't know.
Well, that's the sort of solicitous behavior you want in a washroom attendant, you know? How's your breath?
It could vary because it's like if I walked in and maybe you were a bathroom attendant, I'd be like, oh yeah, this guy, he was
turn around and get right the hell out of there.
That's where I'm going to give you credit, Thomas. I think it's time for a career change where you become a bathroom attendant, because I'd probably leave and I'd be like, hey, did anyone talk to the bathroom guy? He was totally normal and like, he wasn't trying very hard. He's like, hey, if you want a mint or not, whatever. Where maybe if it was someone like Joe Conto, I'd be like, he was nice, but he just came on too strong. He kept trying to give me mints. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, see that there's like a category like when you walk in the Gap or something that people are on top of you. Can I help you? Do you know about ourselves?
Yes.
Like I hate that.
If you had said like going to a shoe store, those people, they're just like the ones that are like, hey, do you need anything? No, I'm just browsing. Okay, cool. If you need anything, I'm over here. I think that's totally reasonable. They're doing their job. It's when they come back or even come back another time. It's like, I'm out of here, man. I can't. Like, I'm either going to buy the goddamn shoes or I'm not going to buy them. You're not going to coax me into them unless you say, hey, look, I've got some free shoes in the back. It's the only way they're going to do it. If you would have went with that, I would have said you're correct. But I think that I'm bound for an incorrect one. My next prediction, Thomas, is that you don't like picking out furniture or decor.
That's interesting. I'd have to say, oof. I don't want to reveal the intimate secrets of my marriage, but yeah, I don't like to spend much time on it, so I'm gonna say give you that one. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is something people often look at me and they think, oh yeah, this guy, he'd probably like to live in a garbage can if he could. I'm going to tell you something. I love picking out furniture and I love decor. I don't have an eye for it, but I could spend hours in those stores that are like, oh, look, here's interesting lamps, or, oh, here's a section of things that smell nice. That's my kind of gig, man. I'm into that stuff, but no one would ever predict it because they'd be like, oh, this guy, he's only into having food in his beard.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, we're getting to learn a lot about each other.
Yeah, so. This is true. This is true. Okay, so right now it's 3-2 in favor of me. Thomas, take it away.
Okay. This is, I don't know. I jotted down some notes here, so I'm going to go with parents who let their children scan the items in the self-serve checkout lane at the grocery store.
Oh, man. You know what? My instinct is that's funny. I've never seen it happen, but I would hate that because I suspect that it would take forever. Like, I don't even like when adults take forever.
Right.
Because for me, I can't even conceptualize why people, I can conceptualize it, but to me, it's like, I'm going to go to self-serve. No one's there. I'm in and out.
Exactly.
Someone letting their kids do it is going to hold up a line. And maybe it's a little cute, but they're not going to know how to get the code for bananas and pamplemousse. Right. Thomas, you're 100% correct. I would hate that.
Okay.
You're back on the board, buddy.
Oof.
Okay, so here's one that I think I put it on just because I think it's funny. I predict that you dislike all-you-can-eat buffets.
God, I guess I don't get out enough, but
never been invited. No one's ever invited me to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
I'm always threatening to give a speech. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say there's something a little distasteful about the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm gonna get anyone wrong, it's this one. But the idea of you being at an all-you-can-eat buffet, being like, I guess I'm gonna eat this tortellini that's been dried out and sitting here, and then like some kid spills like Jello on your I imagine a little kid spilling Jello. I think that's your thing. Is you go to buffets and it's like there's something about Barnwell. Kids always spill food all over him. Or like the guy who's like putting the heat tray of like shrimp drops them on you. I imagine you covered in food at a buffet through no fault of your own.
Well, the last social function that I really attended, I guess it was before all the COVID stuff. It was it was actually some banquet where I think my wife was getting an award, and the waitress spilled wine all over me. So
yeah. Like I imagine you play it cool. You're like, hey, it's fine or whatever, but maybe inside you're seething.
That's exactly right. So
I've got a handle on you, Thomas. This is why I feel a connection.
it's scary, James. You're in my head.
Well, let's go into our final predictions.
Yeah.
What do you have for me, Thomas?
Okay, this is a wild card, but based on the little bit I know about you, I'm guessing that you hate pastel colors.
Pastel colors. An interesting one. I gotta Google pastel colors to really get like,
light blues and pinks and light green.
oh yeah, you know what? I'm looking at like a series of color cards. I don't, my immediate instinct is I really don't care for this. I think, I don't mind like maybe this reminds me of like people who like have like swingers party on like yachts or something like that, or like baby room colors, like the color of baby toys. Like, yeah, no, you're right. I don't like this. I don't care for this. They look like maybe fancy ice cream colors.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
You're correct. I'm not into this. I don't like this. So you're correct. So
sorbet colors. Yeah.
Yeah. You're correct. I don't care for this. My final prediction now, if this is a no, we're going to be tied here, but this is a wild card too. I suspect you have very little patience for conspiracy theorists.
You got that 100% correct.
Tell me more. You're just like, I can't.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous. Like, and it doesn't matter what conspiracy, but
yeah,
a friend of mine used to say, don't look for a conspiracy when stupidity and incompetence will explain it,
Yeah,
so.
Okay, so this is great because I know that we've got some conspiracy theorists on the show. And of course, yesterday was the
9/11
anniversary of September 11th.
Yeah.
Shrouded in controversy and conspiracies. Yeah. They say it was an inside job.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, there's something interesting about conspiracy theories in the sense that I'm into the narrative that can be woven, and it's interesting, but it's just like, or maybe it's just the thing that it is, or maybe it isn't.
Right. Maybe that's just what they want you to think.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they want you to think. So, okay. So Thomas, we've hit our final score. I've bested you.
You have bested me.
It was a clean sweep of 5-4. Pretty good though for both of us.
You know me better than I know myself, James.
But you know what? It's only going to get harder when we bring this back, Thomas.
Yeah. Okay. It could be things we love next time.
Okay. Yeah. This is going to be the hard thing where it's like, yeah, this James guy, he's just such an old crotch about everything.
Yeah.
I don't know where I pulled that self-insult out of.
But is it James or Thomas? I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have some type of competition of who is the crustiest.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there.
I was born 40, so I think I'll probably beat you there.
This is why I feel simpatico, Thomas. Look, thanks so much for being here tonight, buddy, and we'll have to do this again. We found our thing.
I wish I could say I enjoyed it, but I hate this too. So
damn. I was gonna put that on the list next time. This competition. It's always a pleasure, Thomas.
Thank you, James. It was great fun. Good to see you today.
As always, and I hope I didn't spread ringworm in your vehicle.
I was just teasing, honestly.
Don't worry, because I'm not. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
That's Thomas Barnwell. I love that guy. I was just like, this guy, I feel like he's upset about stuff, and I feel upset about stuff. And, you generally bond with the people. A great bonding topic is, oh, you hate that guy too? I hate that guy. And then it's like, I love you. What's that thing? The enemy of my enemy is my greatest ally. There you go. Gonna have to talk about mutual enemies with Barnwell soon enough. Let's move on to our next guest. This show is flying by. Improviser, performer, fashion expert. We're going to check in to see how tipsy. Maybe I'm a little tipsy. What's in this water? I don't know. We're going to check in and see how I can't talk anymore. Monika, you're on At Home with James. How's it going? How tipsy are you?
I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah.
Little tipsy.
Oh, that's a giant glass. Give that thing a swirl Saturday night, and I like the way you move.
Right.
Monika, on a scale of 1 to 10, we've done the happiness meter. What's your tipsy meter right now?
I would say, I'd say a 6.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not wild. I mean, I haven't been wild in many years, James. So.
It's interesting. Well, I've never been wild on any level in my life ever. One of the last events before the world changed, we saw each other at a birthday party.
Oh.
And you had walked over to me and you're like, James, how's it going?
That's tipsy me.
That's been my impersonation of tipsy Monika since then. It was like, like there was this great shoulder movement. It was like, how's it going, James? And I was like, it occurred to me, I had never seen tipsy Monika, but I was like, that's someone who's got a handle on it and they're having a good time.
That's it. I feel over the years of, high school and university drinking exploration and a few terrible barfing nights. I've mastered my have a good full stomach of food, have one glass of something, then a glass of water before another. And, and I just don't drink much anyway. So it's pretty.
Well, what you're saying is that you're a responsible adult.
Thank you.
There we go. Monika, it's a Saturday surprise.
Saturday surprise.
Tell me what you have in store for me tonight.
I thought we would share moments in our life that we recall genuinely being surprised. Like what has surprised us?
Yeah. Well, look, of course you are our guest tonight, so I would love for you to take it away and let's see what moments have surprised Monika Schneider in the past.
Great. Well, the first one that came to mind was a classic surprise birthday party. The one I've only had one, and I was so excited because I threw them often for my friends.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting to actually get one that was completely a surprise. Like I did not see it coming at all.
I'm going to tell you this, Monika. That is also what I was thinking about. So we're going to be able to compare notes. Let's start with you because
I am surprised right now.
My assumption is that you loved it.
I loved it.
Tell me more.
So I was working on staff as a lifeguard at a summer camp up in Golden Lake, Ontario, about a couple hours from Ottawa. And it was my day off. And my friend from high school had a cottage a few minutes from this camp.
And how old were you at this time? Was this
I was turning 18.
Okay, so it was one of those teen jobs where we're going from being an adolescent into a young adulthood.
It was a teen job.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my parents came up to visit me at camp, took me out to Little Caesars for those great garlic breadsticks, and Hawaiian pizza, and a Coca-Cola. Right up your alley, James. Right up your alley. It was great.
I like how increasingly closer you're getting to the camera. And now it's just like going to pizza, having a Coca-Cola. Yeah.
I'm reliving it, man. Yeah. I could go for Little Caesars pizza and garlic breadsticks, let me tell you.
Yeah, great. It sounds like great drunk food.
Great drunk food. Yeah. Some new news. I can't do cheese anymore.
Oh, you're off lactose?
I'm off it. I kept testing it. And then my body one day was like, you know what?
It's over.
Can't do it. It's over.
Yeah.
So that's sad. It's hitting me right now.
So in addition to September 11th being a sad day, now we can also add September 12th as a never forget, the day Monika could no longer eat cheese.
And like, who wants a pizza without cheese? My cousin will order a pizza with just pepperoni and tomato sauce. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Not for me.
So now we're going back to the fun.
Okay, back to the party. I'm sorry, I digress.
No, don't worry about this. This is my job. This is my job. This is what I do. But I'm curious because you're looking back fondly on the Little Caesars pizza, the Coca-Cola, the breadsticks. Tell me more.
Man. So we're driving back from dinner on the way to camp, and my parents are like, "Oh, we're just going down this road," and I was like, "This ain't the way to camp." And I was like, "Oh, I recognize my friend Kaylin's cottage," but my parents are also friends with her parents. So I was like, "Oh, and then of course they're like, oh yeah, we just thought we'd stop by and say hi to Pat and Jean. That's her parents. And I was like, all right. And then as we're pulling in, I see my friend Kaylin running by, like laughing. And I was like, what? She's here. And then suddenly I just saw all these, like all my high school friends popping out of like the forest in the house. Mm-hmm. And then it slowly dawned on me. I was like, wait, hold up.
This is happening.
Is this for me? And then I was like, what? It's actually, and then, I got in the car and they're like, surprise. And everyone was staying overnight, bonfire, high school stuff,
Was this your 18th birthday?
My 18th birthday.
Okay, so it's a big one. And obviously it stuck with you. Was this your only surprise party or have you?
The only one.
The only one. Now,
it was great.
Now, would you like another one or is it like, I'm over
another
it?
One? Yeah. I'd be into another one for sure. I'm lying. Oh my God, I had another one in Montreal. And I didn't even live here. I was visiting for a summer and it was a twin birthday surprise. So that was the other one. I completely forgot that happened. But before
that's true. You do have a sibling. You are a twin.
Yes.
Now, was your brother at the 18th birthday?
I don't think he was.
Why do you think that is?
I think we kind of had different friends.
Got it. Okay.
High school, and he wasn't at camp with me.
You know what? I say this, but then I think I've literally never once invited my own sister to any birthday extravaganza that I've ever had. Sometimes you don't have that relationship in certain times in your life. Okay, so take me through this 18th birthday. You get surprised.
Surprised. Yep. And yes, my boyfriend at the time was there, Phil. Probably the hottest boy I ever dated. But he smoked weed a lot and I didn't know.
I realize. So this Phil
has blue eyes like the sea, James.
Phil has stuck with you all these years because you're like, this is the hottest guy I've ever dated.
Man. And I beat out a lot of contenders for his affection. I did. I charmed him at a high school house party by playing some sort of game like Would You Ever XYZ, and we just in a corner got each other's vibe and But the plot will thicken. I broke up with him to then date my boy at camp.
Oh, okay. So,
but not at my party. It was like a week later.
Okay, so what you're telling me, we're veering away here, but we've got Phil, who's to this day the hottest guy you've ever dated.
Beautiful.
Let's move on to now this guy from summer camp.
I'm so embarrassed. Is someone watching who knows him?
Well, my curiosity is are you going from now? Can we give this other guy a name just for interview purposes? Doesn't have to be a real name. We call him whatever you want.
Let's call him Mick.
Mick. Okay.
That's
I like that you, I like that you gave Phil's real name, but Mick, it's I can't give Mick. Now,
not as hot, but
this is what
better fit for me.
Okay, but this is what I'm getting at here is do you shift from Phil to Mick? Is there a moment where you're
shifted?
Phil is a really good looking guy. This Mick guy, he's a good fit for me, but I don't know. He's kind of a
turning point.
2 on 10 here.
It was very interesting. It was one of those, interesting. You talked earlier about me being an adult.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel
surprise, I'm actually 12 years old.
Sorry, big reveal, folks. But it was an adult turning point where I was so much in teen world for me with boys was looks first. Am I attracted? Is he cute? And then
that's all of us, Monika.
Do I even like him? I don't know.
That's all of us. When you're a teenager, you're oh, there's no way I could ever date that person. They wear Jordache brand jeans or whatever, where it's
yes.
Yeah.
So this was the turning point where I was I think I like Mick in an adult way. I wasn't initially attracted to him, but I'm feeling the deeper essence of what a relationship is. And he was my first person I really was in love with. And it was probably one of my best relationships. We were together for many years. Okay.
So there you go. Mick was the right way to go. Yeah. Out of curiosity, have you Facebook stalked or social media stalked Phil since then?
Yes. And I haven't found him.
Okay, so I think the burning question that at least I have and that I think everyone else has is hot Phil still hot?
I'm guessing yes. I met his parents. They both looked great.
Okay. Now, have you been able to find some semblance? Like, are you Facebook friends with this Mick character? Do you know what he's all
not on Facebook either.
So you don't
But
know
I've ran into him many more times.
Okay. So my question is, in terms of, I can't believe we're breaking down how Mick's aesthetic appearance is, but this is what I'm into right now. Have you seen this guy? I'm like, okay, from a shift of 18 to where he's at now.
He's a cutie.
Okay, so
he's more of a Russell Crowe.
Okay, so this is my thing.
As opposed to a Brad Pitt.
So he's more of an RC, not a BP.
Right.
Has he gotten a little bit better looking with? Oh yeah, Monika, I think you can only come on
RC kind of.
Yeah, I want you to come on only tipsy. Great, I have an idea for a show.
By the way, also I'm an HK kind of gal. Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel?
I know. What? The piano? What? What's going on with that? Like, wow.
I think we have to do a drunk panel on this show.
I need a bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. We got to okay, Monika wants to talk about hot guys. There we go, a segment, Hot Guys with Monika.
God.
Now,
I'm so into it.
Here's the thing. Do we even talk about my surprise? Because I'm far more invested in your life than I am with mine every day of the week.
James, this is a surprise night.
Okay.
Anything can happen.
Oh my God.
Do we go to your surprise? Does it surprise everyone?
Okay, well, mine is it wouldn't be a James story without some type of misery. So my surprise party, it was for people who were part of the improv zeitgeist.
I forgot it was a party.
Yeah, the lore of the improv birthday party, where you have people that you like there, and then people are like, how'd this person get here? I don't even think this person likes me. In any event, it was many years ago, and a few people had given me a surprise party, and we're like, oh, we got to stop by the theater to pick something up. And I was like,
oh, classic.
Yeah, classic, terrible.
Stop by the theater to pick something up.
I have my ear to the door. I'm like, oh, I think this show that let out is doing like notes or something, man. And I opened the door and everyone was there, and it was like full, but with people that would have never been at my birthday. And there was a beat of silence, and it had not occurred to me, oh, this is for me. And everyone was just looking at me. And then what followed was a delayed surprise. But the intonation
doesn't sound enthusiastic.
The intonation was like and I talked about this last week, the equivalent when people wish you happy birthday on Facebook and they write it in all lowercase, which I just read as someone is like scrolling and they're like, happy birthday. It was like I interrupted I had a birthday at them.
Right.
And then I barely got one slice of my own birthday cake, and I didn't even have a hot fill there. No hot fill, no adequate Mick. But you know what? I was with someone at the time, and I was pleased.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah,
we were
that matters.
You know what, Monika? We were living very content lives on our respective birthdays.
Yeah. How old were you on this one?
Maybe turning, I don't know, let's say 20. It was like, I think 2013. So I just turned 33. So let's set. What is that? 7 minus 33 is what? I don't do math anymore.
7 minus, you mean 33 minus 7?
Yeah, exactly.
Something in the mid 20s. Let's go.
Yeah, something in the mid 20s. We got Thomas 26. Yeah.
There you go, 26.
For people who don't know,
that's why there wasn't a hot fill and an adequate mix.
Yeah, we need.
Because you were in your mid 20s.
You know what my birthday party needed was some hot teens turning 18. That would have. I needed some cool 18-year-olds to bring the party to my party.
You know,
Monika, I love when you come on this show.
Oh, I love being on.
We got to do. I think a drunk night is in order. Not like people who are alcoholics, but like I have to compile a list of the most intriguing people under the what's the word I'm looking being
under the age of
under the age of we're gonna do an teen night. This is a new side of Monika that I've yet to know.
Oh Lord.
And may I say I love it.
Oh, I love you too. No,
I think we're having a moment,
over
Monika.
the top.
You know what? Over the top. Doesn't matter. Great movie starring Sylvester Stallone. Before we let you go.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, where does he rank in your
What?
list
I
of
love
hot
that
guys?
we both, I feel like we have a love for kind of B movie, like action, like, Roadhouse, it's not necessarily a classic B, but it's
I think what you're saying
over the top
is B standing for bad.
But so bad they're good,
Monika, I have Roadhouse and Over the Top on DVD. Yes.
James, my heart is opening for you.
Okay, well, we'll start putting together movie nights, Monika.
That's great.
Monika, thanks so much for being here. Let's talk soon, okay?
Yes, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. That's Monika Schneider. Guys, this is the Saturday Surprise. I love this show. I know it's a good night when I am sweating profusely underneath my flannel, my t-shirt, and my trademark black hoodie, shades of Darlene Connor, mid-seasons of Roseanne, Depression era Darlene. Folks, we will be back next Tuesday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6:00 Pacific Standard Time if you are one of our friends from the West Coast. And may I just say, if I don't say it enough, I'm so grateful to have met and to have been acquainted with all of our very funny guests that come to us from Vancouver. What a treat. I'm having a moment of silence with the camera, apparently. We'll be back also next week, going to be chatting about how, breaking news, we're on the quest and the roller coaster back to Monday night episodes. We might be starting to phase out the Saturday Surprise, or are we? I don't know. Anyways, folks, my hosting was really good up until that last moment. We'll fix it going into our next segment. This is the fourth attempt in which I, James Allen McGee, tries to sell out for some sponsorship. And we're going to do it, I found a way, with the CPF, a close personal friend. Our upcoming guest has been on the show a variety of times. He comes back to us tonight, not to talk about Canadian rock or ranking a variety of disgusting things and happenings. He's here to talk about Variations Mile End, which is a dance and performance school. The performance part is a new initiative, both improv classes and acting classes. Let us welcome Jason Grimmer to the show. Jason, welcome.
Hey.
Sells out.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good, man. Yourself? Nice
yeah,
to
I'm
see
doing
you
again. Yeah. We saw each other a couple hours ago at literally
grad class in a schoolyard, and it was so much fun to watch. It was awesome seeing and all these people came out, Stefan and Dale, and everyone came out. Thomas.
Yeah,
Monica, it was great.
Yeah. So basically, what we're talking about right now is for people who don't know, I have shockingly been working 2 days a week. Now, I know you look at me and go, this guy doesn't work, but I do once in a while. I've been teaching improv classes for the now deceased Montreal Improv. Today, we said, F it. We're going to put together a grad show in the great outdoors. I counted close to 40 audience members for this free event. Many of the favorites of Montreal Improv passed by to lend their support, and something about it felt so special. And now we're here talking about improv, and that's where we met, Jason.
Yeah, again, it was a great day. It was a lot of fun. I think a lot of people had fun, and it was great to see a class be able to perform in front of people and get real feedback. And they did terrific.
Yeah.
Also I got to say, man, this show, Barnwell, Monika, what a show. These are some of the best people. And then I started remembering in Films in Focus with Monika, when there's that one episode or that one show we did where she was basically you and Dimitri were on stage with her, and it was she just completely went into full Monika, and then Dimitri was at one point went, "What's happening here?" Yeah,
I believe it was Monika was playing a someone who had a favorite teacher. I was maybe the favorite teacher, and I also like that you call it full Monika.
It was because she established that, and then I was like, okay, here comes full Monika. It was amazing. Yeah. And it was great. But
full Monika sounds like a ABC sitcom from the mid-90s. This fall, we're gonna go full Monika.
She may not be our mom, but she is full Monika.
And guess what? She's also a vampire. Anyways, let's get into it. So yes, we were all part of that show at the now defunct Montreal Improv. People don't know this. I think people have a suspicion that you and I have been friends for many years, which at this point we have. I met you teaching an introductory improv course. Can I ask you before we really get into the meat and potatoes of stuff, because we don't tend to talk much about improv on this show, Jason, what brought you to this idea? Like, yeah, I'm going to try this improv thing.
Okay, so I was working as the manager and the events coordinator for Drawn and Quarterly Bookstore in the publishing house. And a lot of my job was booking big shows. So I would have Margaret Atwood, there'd be 800 people there. Inevitably, depending on the show, I would have to start going out and talking about them and speaking in public. Now, I'd been in bands before as a singer, so I was used to that, but then I developed stage fright and started having trouble with that. And then I saw a coworker, their grad show, and I went to see it, and you were hosting it, and I went, I'll try this out. And I did, and that's when my love of improv came from, was that level 1 class.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because when you started taking that class, your performance style at the time, I was like, man, there's something very Mark Maron-ish about this guy. And then I was like, I wonder why I'm thinking that. I was like, oh yeah, it's the overwhelming performance style that exudes cynicism.
I guess, I don't know, man. I can't tell what I do. I think it was a huge thing to me, and I think a lot of people, to have you validate like what they're doing in a way, like, and sort of help them hone it. And I think that's something I always appreciated from you. You and I have a very like back and forth, like we're very honest with each other and we talk about it. And I think I love notes, and you were someone who gives good notes. I think it was to me, I was like, this is a special experience. This isn't something you see all the time in a lot of classes. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Well, and it's interesting because as someone who's taught just more improv classes than I'm capable of counting, what's interesting is, from my perspective, seeing the varying levels of excitement, that moment of aha, I love this. And it comes in a variety of in shapes and sizes. And the thing that I've been lucky for is not only with you, but with Thomas and Monika, who were on the show earlier, having, and I say this without any type of hyperbole, I feel lucky getting to work with folks like you guys, because it makes me excited at the same time too. And I know this sounds like we're doing some weird cult infomercial for the world of improv or whatever, but it's one of those things that now, knowing that that particular space is like, okay, what do we do? Getting these moments where we can kind of rekindle that excitement, much like we saw today with that show that we were all at, it kind of makes things feel like, oh, this can come back, and things are coming back because you're in the midst, and we're only a couple days away from relaunching not only improv classes, but indoor improv classes. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or what's going to be going on at Variations?
I can, for sure. A little history on Variations. Variation was started by my partner, Catherine. Started with just a couple classes during the day, and eventually got to a point where we were renting a spot, and we've rented a few spaces till we ended up where we are now. It was never intended, just like with improv, to do anything that involved like making a living from it. So the dance school, I left Drawn and Quarterly, joined the dance school, helped with that a bit, and we grew the dance school to a point that it sustains us. This is a remarkable thing, and it's wonderful. Very, very, very lucky to have this thing going. And again, this is all Catherine. So what I help with is marketing and managing. Then once I did improv, and you know me, I got very, very, like, I was really interested in the sort of, I wouldn't say like the business aspect of it, but just sort of getting the word out there and making it more like available to people. Because here's the thing about improv, and this is the honest way I feel. I really do think that it's a much maligned art form, but it's probably one of the most important ones out there. It might not be for everyone, but the thing is it's taught me to live in the moment. It's taught me to listen. It's taught me to put myself out there and feel it's okay to fail, because you can do it again in a little while. And most of all, it's taught me that people love humans. They love people. And so that's what you can do. And I love sketch, but it's a totally different thing. If someone goes out there and makes a mistake in improv, they're stretching, they're trying to do something, and you're an audience member and you're watching that, you relate to that as a human being trying to achieve something. To me, it's almost like the best kept secret in the world. I think something that should be taught early on with children. I think it should be taught through teen. I mean, it would be so beneficial. So beyond all that, we have a dance school that's based on creativity over competition. Original choreographies. We do shows every year. We rent out spaces. We have a performance program of young teen girls who are really want to do like 6 to 8 hours of dance a week with us. And we do these shows that are original and themed. So the basis for us is that it's creativity over competition, and we move towards a performance. Improv is exactly the same thing. Improv in its best form. So when Montreal Improv folded, and I loved Montreal Improv, everything it gave me, I thought, Montreal Improv doesn't need to exist again. What needs to exist is Montreal. When people Google Improv Montreal, they see a bunch of stuff that's out there for them. There's TSC Sunday night improv show where they have options and they can go back and forth. And the teachers are what teach it. I'm sorry, Siri just started answering me. And then having these teachers bring the sort of things they do and able to hone it and train people in a really more, less of a sort of like, and this is not about Montreal Improv because I think they have some wonderful teachers. I'm just saying like not like a level 1, level 2, level 4, like level, why they jump? Anyway, but basically there's levels and sort of more hone what people are interested in.
Well, I think something that you brought up that's intriguing is like, one, like I think that I agree that improv is the bastard child of comedy. It's easy to turn a nose at it. Like I've heard a variety of people, including improvisers, like, yeah, you know, when it's good, it's great, but when it's bad, it's awful. It's like,
what isn't?
Awful is awful. I don't want to watch someone at the Comedy Nest suck alone. I don't want to go down to a sketch show and watch someone bomb and go, wow, that's what they edited and finished with. So it's like with improv, it's one of these things. And I think the reason is because it is so insular, right? People at Montreal Improv did what they did in a very insular kind of biodome. People at TSC do what they do in a very insular biodome. There's a whole bunch of people at McGill, whether it's the Pit or McGill Improv, we never saw anything that they did. They don't know anything that we do. And I think it's because it's a matter of fostering a variety of things, including community, but also know what we're doing is good. And you should be watching it because this is quality. And I've always been unabashed in saying that I think improv comedy, when it's at its best in the city, is the best comedy in the city. It trumps our stand-up and it trumps our sketch.
Well, in my view, and I don't think you're doing this, but I don't think there's any competition. I think these comedic forms all work hand in hand. I've tried stand-up. It's very, very, very hard for me. So people who do stand-up, that's great. Like, good for them. And that's a really good, I want to try it again at some point. But improv it doesn't mean it's better or worse. It just means it's another comedic form and a way to express yourself and how that works. I think basically for me, I think if you're going to do this sort of thing, and if you feel it's important, you have to make it accessible to people. And I think that's one part of that is marketing. The other part of that is offering programs or ways to make financial limitations not a weight blocking point. That's
I want to jump on that. So, Jason, you mentioned making it accessible for people. Can you tell us about some of the classes that are going to be popping up in just about a week's time?
Sure. So we've got the Intro to Improv with you. I think, and I'll say this, and I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of praising you, but I think anyone who has an opportunity to take an Intro to Improv with you would be massively beneficial. You're a fantastic teacher. Next thing. So then we also have, and these other teachers are all amazing. We have Sehar Majid doing naturalistic improv, which is super interesting. If you've seen Sehar perform, it's a encapsulating going how to be a real person on stage, not a character, because that can derail a whole set. So she's particularly good at this. I'm very excited about this course. So she's offering that. We have that starting as well. Dimitri Kirez, shot to stardom, just a star, and teaching what he loves, which is narrative with narrative storytelling, narrative genre. I'm probably going to take the genre class because he's also teaching how to make your closed relationship a polyamorous one, but that's on his boat. What the hell? Yeah, that's great. Anyway, I'm going to find it very interesting to take a class from Dimitri, and also probably very. Oh, so you're signing up for the polyamory one? Well, I mean, if Paulie's in the saying you taught him everything he knows. I know. What a lover he is. Yeah. Of course, and then we have Carmen Rose, who's teaching acting for kids and teens. That actually starts on Tuesday. And then we have other teachers coming up, and then in October, we'll be announcing as well. So
yeah,
just something that complements the city in an improv comedic way. I think it should be accessible and fun.
Now, I'd be remiss if we didn't friggin' talk about this at the same time too, but these are going to be indoor classes. I think a lot of people now have been accustomed to doing outdoor or online. I'm sure people have been asking you nervously, like, what's the precaution? So I'll be teaching in a hazmat suit, but I'm going to have a butt flap so I'm able to go to the bathroom in case I got to go.
Okay, so as an early mask adopter, that's what I call myself these days. It's actually in my LinkedIn. Basically, we take this very seriously because it's our livelihood. And not only is it our livelihood, community-wise, it's our duty to take care of this stuff. To be careful with it. So we had our first classes last weekend, and we had the second round this weekend. And I have to say that because we've taken a studio on, all the studios have air filtration, and 2 of them have big windows that open. And we've made classes smaller, and therefore the whole thing. When you see people come in and they're wearing masks, you start seeing a sort of sense of like, okay, everybody's getting this. I'm not having to tell someone, hey, put your mask over your nose, which I've had to do at Cheap Thrills. I don't have to do that. And I felt when I left after the first weekend, I felt secure, feeling going, okay, I see where this is going. This could work in a certain way. Yeah. So I feel secure about it.
Yeah. And that's, I think, is going to be one way. Eventually, we're going to need to reacquaint ourselves with being indoors. And certainly with the winter coming on, people talk about that second wave of COVID. I'm talking about that first wave of misery.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's when I start streaming 24/7.
We don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you just put a plan. You sort of make your plans as you go along.
Yeah. And for people in the chat right now, Smooth Carla in the booth has set you guys up with a link. It is CatherineVariationsDance.com. Go to that website. It's got all the information. If you want to do some dance classes, that will not be me because I want for the other students to have a good time. You can get info on that as well as the performance and improv classes that are happening. And now you know the air is getting filtered. So if anyone passes gas, you're okay too.
Finally.
Yeah, finally, right? No more fart zones.
This is the one good thing that came out of all this.
Yeah, we can filter fart air.
Yeah, you don't have to awkwardly say, Dave.
Yeah, you're talking about Dave Kaufman, of course.
Yeah, Dave Kaufman for sure.
Yeah. He's been known to clear out a room, not only with his comedy, but his flatulence. Look, Jason, of course, this is James Sells Out. And generally speaking, what I do is I like to ask for free products. But of course, I can't ask for a product from you. Of course, I could maybe ask for dance classes, but I want to change the game a little bit. I want to flip the coin here. Instead of asking for a free product, what I want to do, I'm going to put you on the spot. There's a faux pas, as they say in Quebec and France. Is it possible to get a raise right off the hop? We're close friends, and I have lost all of my jobs.
A raise.
Yeah, a bit of a raise, right? Nothing too much. Maybe like, I don't know, a little kickback, or maybe like a boost.
Consider it done. It's on. It's recorded. It's here. You get a raise. You
get a raise?
Yeah.
You're telling me James Sells Out has finally worked?
Yeah, man. You're gonna get a raise.
Okay, well, what kind of raise are we talking about here?
Probably like $10.
$10? My God, I'm gonna be able to pay my hydro bill now.
There you go, man. All you had to do is ask.
You know what? You know what? You aren't a bad guy.
I know.
Yeah. What a shock, right? I've been in your corner since day one.
I know. And it only took someone saying, give me money, and me going, okay, here you go, to make that happen.
That's the thing. James Sells Out. That's what I'm all about. I'm not transparent, or I am transparent with this stuff. Jason, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
None at all, my friend. None at all. But it was a pleasure to be on the show with such fellow great guests, and also Carla as well. Thank you so much for having me on.
The pleasure's all mine, Jason. Let's talk soon, okay?
Okay, buddy.
All right, that's Jason Grimmer, and that's our show. Thomas Barnwell was here. Monika Schneider was here. Monika, with a thumb up or down, can you tell me how tipsy you are right now? We got, the thumb is creeping from a midway point. So that's what's going on now. Smooth Carla, thanks so much for the show tonight. What'd you think?
Oh, what a groovy show. Oh boy, top to bottom, I loved it all. There's so much brewing and boiling all over the place. I can't wait to see future shows based off this one right here.
Now, when you said brewing and boiling, I thought we were still on the topic of flatulence.
Oh, well, if you want to brew and boil a little bit of fartsy doodle, go on ahead and go to Variations Mile End, where you can fart and get it filtered out.
Yeah.
Great promo. Really good promo.
Oh, man. Smooth Carla, I think you just got a job as some type of voiceover artist for their online. They were a dance school and they were introducing performance, but now their main focus is the filtration of farts from a variety of people of all kinds. Smooth Carla, you just made them $1 million with that idea.
I made them $1 million. Wow-wee.
Look, you send Jason a message because he's feeling generous.
I think I'll do that right after the show.
Well, Smooth Carla, thanks for everything tonight. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Have a smooth rest of the night, okay, Smooth Carla?
Thank you. You too.
Once again, thanks to Smooth Carla. Thanks to Monika Schneider. Thanks to Thomas Barnwell. Thanks to Jason Grimmer. Once again, go to that website, Catherine Variations. Is it Catherine Variations Dance, of course, .com. Guys, we're getting back on the comedy wagon. One improv class at a time. Until then, I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for being here tonight. I love this show, and I love all of you for watching and supporting. It really means a lot from the bottom of my heart. Have a good rest of the weekend. It's going to rain tomorrow. Figure out how to be happy. Pick up a book, or maybe, I don't know, start eating beans and get ready to go to those fart classes. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night. Goodbye. Farewell. And be well.